Hi, and we're back again. Our next project here is a fuel pump. This is off a S15 V6 4.3 liter fuel injected. Now I'm here to tell you why you never want to run your fuel tank on empty, because this is your fuel pump right here. This is off of a S15, very similar to an S10. Most of the Chevys are nearly identical on the similar year, okay? What happens is when you run your fuel tank on empty, you're going to fry your fuel pump, okay? It's going to get hot. It's going to suck in air. And if it sucks in air into this fuel pump right here, you're done. Because what happens is the bearings in there, they get cooled by the fuel. Also, this fuel pump right here, if you're running it real hard and it's on empty and the fuel level's down in here, you're not getting it cooled down by the fuel sloshing around in there. That's the reason why. That's the reason why General Motors designed it that way, I'm sure, so it helps cool the fuel pump. Okay, so later on we'll be installing this, and I'll show you how easy it is to install this fuel pump here. Okay, attention to detail is key because you want to have all the lines correctly. This is your fuel pressure line right here. Okay, and you can see this other line back and back. That's going to be your return line, okay? And then this little thing right there, that's your vent. Those three hoses, this wire, of course your ground wire right there. You want to make sure that that ground wire is connected properly to your frame. If your frame is rusted, you're going to have to do something to find a better place to ground it. Okay, it has to be a solid ground when you hook this up. Now let's get to it. Okay, after you have all the hoses on, the wires go outside the tank, of course. It's a good idea. Make sure and check everything. You know, you want to take the plastic bag off this. You want to make sure this is on there good, the filter. Okay, and then we'll be inserting the fuel pump assembly. Okay, it's all fun and games. We're going to go ahead and install this. Make sure you have the rubber washer here. It goes in there. You want to have that for sure, so it keeps all the pressure in and the water out. Now, when I was going to install my brand new one, I had to notice that the guys at the store kept my lock washer, my lock ring for the top of the fuel tank. So that's why I keep all my old stuff. Now we remove the old one. Of course, I returned my other unit. They kept the lock washer here. This lock washer comes off of a different unit, a different vehicle, but it probably still work. We're going to test it out. Applying a little bit of grease along the end helps it seal. Okay, of course you want to make sure your fuel tank inside is dry and clean. I've already emptied it. Go ahead and test the fit of that. When installing it, you always want to make sure this tab is in line with that slot. And you want to make sure this lock ring is facing with, of course, the high side up here. Otherwise, you have to just redo everything I just did. Now, to see it in place, in the book, it says to find and locate the frame mount bolts. You can see them up there. The ones that are a little blacker than the other ones, those are the ones I touched. And there's two more down there, but I didn't touch those. The reason why I'm showing you this, and we're going to get ready to close this video here in just a minute, is because it's unnecessary to remove these 4 bolts right here. And those are kind of a hassle because they go to the cross member that you can see down here that goes to the fuel tank, holds the whole fuel tank up. And over that's the fuel tank strap, and you can see that, probably see that bolt in there. So that one bolt, take that one bolt off right there, and then you remove that strap. You can leave that bracket in place. As long as you jack the truck up high enough, you'll be able to slide the fuel tank down in the rear, and then remove it, slide it out the back of the truck. That'll save you guys a lot of work. And we hook up those fuel lines there. There's only 3 of them. I didn't show it because y'all don't want to see it. It's not too pretty, but because it's a hard job. But as long as you take your time. Well, I would get this project going with my little buddy under there, Buttons. He's sitting under there, so I can't disturb him. We have to put this project on hold.